Hello and welcome to another video of mine, and this time we're having a look at the Arado 234 C-3. In my opinion, this is a very nice bomber, and if you ask me if I think that this plane is worth the effort to get, I say yes. It might be just a little bit too overpowered. Now, what is this plane? It is the only four-engined jet in the game at the moment, and it is so much better than its predecessor, the B2 variant, because it just not does have a higher top speed, a better climb rate, better acceleration, the same bomb load, but it also does have two 20mm cannons in the nose with 500 rounds, so you have quite a punch. Now, it would be a bit of a waste to abuse it against ground targets because you just can attack light ground units, but whatever. Now, what I do here is playing it in a very aggressive playstyle. I dive right into the enemy's climbing alley, so to speak, and I will take out the middle bombing point, or the middle mini base, so to speak, that secures me a base research point gain, so to speak. By doing that, I give my team a slight advantage, which is in 99% of the cases not game deciding, but hey, 3 points for me, I take it. By dropping the bombs, which add a huge drag to the plane, I get also better performance. Now, granted, I could drop them earlier, but I don't like to waste bombs. I'm not an R2Y2 scrub that just brutalizes its way through the poor American team. Now, by flying so aggressive, I interrupt the enemy's effort of organizing the team. And a lot of people are greedy and try to dive after me or turn after me. So, by that, I stretch out the enemy's team. I make it easier for my team to get an advantage over the enemy team, and also give my team the time to climb if necessary. And this plane has so many good things for it going that I'm wondering why this plane doesn't get spammed. Now, you see two, maybe three players per game, but that you don't see constantly four players is quite a surprise for me. Now, why is that? This thing has unrippable wings. Practically, you can't overspeed. I didn't manage to do it a single time. You have brutal engine performance. Four small engines gives you an amazing thrust throughout all speed areas, so to speak. Low speed, higher speed, and high speed. You still have a good acceleration, especially for this battle rating. Now, you have not such a impressive high speed such as the Horton or the ME262, but still you have a good top speed. And look at the climb rate. The climb rate is fantastic. Look at the F2H, which I'm hunting down. He tries to climb away, but he just doesn't have the engine performance. And this is a fighter that was supposed to be overpowered. Now, the next thing is that this plane can take a beating. The only thing it can't take is when you rip off the wingtip, because it will go down. That's my first kill. Also, this plane has brutal high altitude performance. I tested it out in a few battles where I really had high altitude fights with, I think it was an F80. The battle took quite a while. Now, again, this plane, as you will see in a moment, has also fantastic energy retention. And the handling is still a bit sluggish. It's not a pure fighter, and you feel it. And the first real tip in terms of upgrades would be that you go for the new fuselage or the fuselage repair, as this really improved the handling when I researched it. Now, I don't know if the flight model has ever changed, but it doesn't feel so. Well, the compression seems to be gone. And look at this, I'm dominating this meteor in an energy fight. You couldn't do it in a lot of other planes. And throughout this game, this guy gets saved by my poor marksmanship. Yeah, and I just zoom through. he is very, very maneuverable. Meteors, they turn like Spitfires in arcade. It's quite impressive, to use polite words. And then I just show my dominance over him by putting on smoke, and I just go straight up. And look at the climb rate. Look at this. This is just fantastic. And I make a simple rope a dope, and I'm above him. Now, as you can see, I just tried to stall him out here, so it was not a perfect attack, but at this point, again, my poor marksmanship. Look at him, and he survives, that lucky bastard. A little control input here at the wrong time saved him. So, and again, I'm just dominating him. And just as I was about to having a lot of fun with this guy, a second meteor comes in. And this seems to be of higher battle rating. So, yeah, it's around about now where I realize the second I have a chance to run, I will run. This Meteor F here seems to be not a threat. The F-84 is also too low to really engage me, but it's the second one that really breaks the matter for me. Maybe I could take on him in a 1 versus 1, but if there are 2 other planes around, I'm having none on this. I'm faking an attack on the Meteor here, and I'm just running. Now, I might have mentioned it that this plane can take a beating, and we will see it in a moment. Now, the most things have been said at this point, so let's compare it to other nations' fighters. And I mentioned also the R2Y2s. Now, the R2Y2s are quite similar. They have not a very impressive bomb load, but they have therefore a more impressive offensive armament. But they are kind of one-trick ponies. Yes, they are dominating American teams because they just rush in and shred everything in head-ons with their 430 millimeters, where they also have a lot of ammunition for them. But when they would have to start from the airfield, they wouldn't be that dominant. The next thing is the IL-28, and the IL-28 is, it's not as maneuverable. I don't know about the top speeds capabilities, and this hit really hurt. But it has a very, very impressive tail gunner, TU4 style, and also two 23 millimeters for offensive, so you don't want to get into head-ons, and you also don't want to sit on its tail. Very nasty opponent. Also, it does have a better bomb load, but I think a higher battle rating, if I'm not wrong. Whatever. Now, the next thing would be the British and American B-57s slash Canberras. They have better bomb load. They might be faster in a straight line, but they have no offensive or defensive capabilities whatsoever. So, you're kind of in a unique spot here. And this is the moment where I think to myself, I'm screwed. Let's go head on with everything that comes along. First candidate is an F-84. Again, bad marksmanship. Don't manage to get any hits in. And this F-84 committed too late to the head-on. And yeah, he rams me. I'm actually on fire. And I thought, I'm done. I'm done. I will burn to death. But, shoop-de-whoop, the fire is out. And this is kind of the kind of the beating that this plane can take. It's really durable. At this point, I think to myself, well, if I can make it home right now, it would be amazing. And so I'm on my way to land. Now, the real problem for enemy teams is that they can't ignore me. And I'm practically everywhere. And I can switch locations pretty fast. I have a fantastic climb rate. And, I can hunt enemy players. And while I might not kill them or catch them, they can't engage my fighters without penalty. So they really have always to think about me being there. And that means I'm more usable than you know, those Canberras or B-57s, as I actually take part in the fight. And this is on and on the very same, you know, schedule, so to speak, in the battle. You dive in, you bomb your first bombing targets, and you disturb the enemy team heavily, so hard as no other German plane can. And I think that you actually can meet props is not very nice, because you're they have nothing going against you, except if you're, you know, doing stupid stuff. Now it's at this point that I try to land, and that's the next thing. My landing gear is damaged, so I have to land on the belly, and I don't dare to stay in the air. I don't know how long the battle is still going, so I want to land. Maybe I can take out the another mini base, so to speak, and look at this. I'm practically falling out of the sky, and I think it's pretty funny that you can brake with your fuselage. Like actually braking, controlling the speed to a certain degree. And then I'm repairing. I really recommend this plane as a beginner jet, and at the same time I don't. This plane will give you all the wrong habits. There are not a lot of planes that will have an air spawn, except, you know, R2Y2s, F-84s, and so on. And also the engine performance is off the scale. Now let's have a quick look at the post-battle results. And we can see that for 2 kills I got 48,000 silver lines and 4,511 research points. And I actually was first in the team. So I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you think about bombers in general and jet bombers in particular. And please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and see you next time on the battlefield.